Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's here, Claudia Monacelli, Christelle Martinet, and I'm here with another channeling session, another medium. I'll be working um, with you together with the spirit of Sathya Sai Baba. Now, how I'm going to do this, and I will mention my new breathwork consciousness. I'm going to first cover the screen with his image so I can concentrate more, take some of your questions, also take questions that were asked to me. Through him, he wanted to say certain things. So I'm going to, let's see, here we go. And then we can begin. Okay. I have here the question, if he really incarnated as Sathya Sai, and will he return as Prema Sai? And first of all, let me tell those who do not know this spirit a little bit about him, and we then can go on. First of all, the death of Sri Sathya Sai Baba at the age of 85, he died from heart and breathing problems, and it prompted mass grief all over India, where his crazy frizzy hair was the trademark, and he had the saffron colored robes that he typically uses. He was a very controversial figure, controversial miracles, simple messages, and of ecumenical spiritualisms, more or less, made him sort of a new age icon. But even though he was revered by millions around the world as a living god, he was still a controversial figure, and he was also criticized by some as a fraud protected by political influence. His later years were there were allegations of sexual abuse and things of that nature. And the government of southern India, the state of Andhra Pradesh, where Sai Baba was born, declared 4 days of mourning. Hundreds of police were deployed in his hometown. In the city of Bangalore, followers walk through the streets carrying portraits of the dead spiritual leader, chanting, "Baba is not with us physically, but he remains with us forever." So the first question that I have is if he really incarnated as Sathya Sai and will return as Prema Sai. Yes, I will. And yes, I was. Many saw me as a fake, but my love attests to my presence and my spirit. There are more than 1,000 centers of his organization in over 100 countries around the world. But he didn't appoint any successor to his empire, we could call it. But it is, like the question just responded, it is thought that after his own death, he will be succeeded by another from the same soul. Let me take, let's see. When Lopa asks, when will Kalki Avatar take place? We are all eagerly waiting. Yes, and the unconditional love will come. It will come in 2023. 2023. No one thinks that I will come, but I will. And yes, there were thoughts that I would come sooner, but this is not true. Okay, it's going to be a long session here. Okay, let's see. Rana asks, why Saint Asaraj Ramshi Bapu are behind bars? People claim he didn't commit any sin. No, he didn't. He didn't. He was imprisoned for political reasons. His political views were not and are not in line with those in power. Okay. Minu, is Sai Baba of Shirdi an incarnation of you? I am the incarnation of Shirdi Sai Baba, and there will be a future incarnation, but not the last. There will be more. Anurag asks, when will the COVID pandemic finally come to an end? Do not expect the end of the pandemic. There will be mutation, several mutations, one following the other, and always be more difficult to control. This is what I can say, but I can also say that there will be more serious events that will plague the earth and its life as you know it. Okay. Gertu, is Sai Baba a fake deity? No, I am the reincarnation of a deity, but I came under scrutiny during my life, and this was caused for many reasons. One being political and religious, from those who felt my work, my so-called empire, was only a money-making scheme. People accused me of playing magical tricks. This is not true. I am and was a presence on earth. In terms of a divine presence, there is a divinity we all look to. You cannot call me a god, because all of you have gods in you, a bit of God in you. I was the reincarnation of a pious soul that represented the divine. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a little tough. Sai is asking, I can see that. Aum Sai Ram, dear Divine Swami, please tell me if you sat next to me in church in Mauritius on April 24th, 2022, Mahasa Madhi Day. My loving Swami, Om Sai Ram Swami. Yes. Yes. You know it was me. And this is a question just for confirmation. All of those of you who ask the same question, you and your soul already know the response. And the response is yes. Our souls have the ability to be in all places. We have no rules or constraints of time and space. Okay. Anita Parbo, what do you see for humanity in the coming years? After the pandemic, humanity had felt a marked change. However, there was not a shift in extreme shift in consciousness as was hoped because of the pandemic. The future for humanity is a future where people are going to be challenged, and it will be those challenges that mark shifts in consciousness. The aim of such hardships is to procure among humans a consciousness of unconditional love. And the difficulty in future will be that the rules of economics and finance will continue to reign as vital, and that section of humanity that is and lives in a condition of lack will suffer the most. But there are going to be slow changes and shifts in consciousness. I exhort you all to work toward that goal and to pray for this. Tayas Day asks, how can we remain calm and positive, remain positive amongst so many failures? You have heard and have been told that you need to constantly give thanks. And when you speak of failures, one reason to give thanks is that the failure has taught you a lesson. This is the perspective with which you are requested to live your lives, and this is the way you remain positive, by giving thanks. I have a question here by Satyendera. Hello, ma'am. Can we change our fate by just only being positive and just praying? Yes and no. There is action that you need to take. You pray for forgiveness and pray for positive energy and love, but you need to act. You change your life by taking decisions and acting from a position of unconditional love and promoting that in the world. Do not only be motivated by economic reasons. This is fundamental. Sai says, Om Sai Ram Divine Swami, will you come back to Puttaparthi? We miss you. I miss you, Swami. Yes. Yes, I have watched over the city and the area, but the country as well. When I was alive, I knew I was not loved by all, but I could only be who I was. And everyone thinks that karma will tell you the answers to so many things, but often occurrences take place in order for those around you to learn as well, and because your soul has requested that particular experience. You have heard the expression, be careful what you wish for. When on earth and when negative occurrences take place, the human asks, why has this happened to me? Why? But you must know that your soul has requested those lessons as part of their soul contract. Okay, Shinade asks, can you please ask the truth behind religion and if religions serve humanity in any way? This is the most relevant question today. People need symbols at times, and they may need guidance. Fundamentally, this is the reason for institutionalized religions to exist. Human leaders and holy representatives of the divine are on earth to guide those who do not know what to do. This is the truth behind a religion. But if you ask me, is this what occurs today? Is this their role? I must reply, no. Similar to many different businesses and many different organizations, religions too become corrupt, and the onus, the burden, is on man and women to understand the difference and make their choice. So I am telling you that it is the responsibility of humans to continually make choices. This is what life is, and the objective of the soul, to make choices. Oh, shit. Oh, excuse me, I almost thought that I was going to hang. I made a mistake almost. Sabrina asks, will famous artists from Pakistan be able to work in mainstream Indian cinema and music ever again in the near future? When will the ban end? Yes, they will definitely be able once again to work in mainstream Indian cinema. The ban will not end shortly, and it will not end for quite a number of years. It will end thanks to a political reason, and when leaders change. Shinade also asks, what is the quickest way to connect to divine source? You can speak directly to divine source. You start with yourself and your voice, your inner voice. When I said you all have a piece of God inside you, this is what I mean. Because your godliness is a divine presence. You start with connecting to that, and then you ask and speak directly to the divine. Musami asks, does subliminal music work? Yes, music has a great power because of its vibration. And I exhort you to use it, but also I tell you, you must create your own music through your humming sound. Ma, na, na, na. You need to use your vocal cords and have humming sounds vibrate using your vocal cords. This is true. Subliminal music does work, but if you make your own sounds, it is much stronger. Oh, I'm going to have to take just another question. My brain is going crazy. Anurag Anurag asks, when will all businesses be able to enjoy continued prosperity without any more recessions? I cannot speak of all businesses. Businesses are living entities and they are created by souls. The fate of businesses is closely tied to the soul of those people who inhabit the business and have created the business. It is important for you to know this because change starts at an individual level. This must be remembered by all, and change takes place one step after the other. Okay. I'm going to try to remove. Okay, there you are. Oh, I'm back and my head goes crazy after a while. It's a very, very difficult concentration, this is. Just to make me change my scenery here, do come in, write to me at one of these addresses for lessons in movement, voice, and breathwork consciousness and movement. The first lesson is free. Write to me with your position, your time zone, and we'll set it up. It will change your life. Namaste. I will be back. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.